Hi everyone, I'm Courtney and welcome to the Indulgent Kitchen. So today we're going to make one of my favorite recipes of like all time, at least one of them. I'm a really foodie whore, so I just love food so much. But this is one of my favorite recipes. And today we're going to be making a stuffed chicken parmesan. It's really good. Instead of pasta, I am going to put it on zucchini noodles instead, and I will show you how to make that. So if you're interested in learning how to make this stuffed chicken parmesan, let's go over the ingredients. So first, what we have is some chicken breast. Now I don't pound my chicken breasts. I just don't. And so because I don't pound them, these come out really stuffed and really big, which I kind of like because I just love the eye candy of food. You can go ahead and cut that in half, and it can be a separate meal or whatever. You can split it between kids or whatever, because they're probably not going to be able to finish one whole by themselves. Next, you're going to need 1.5 cups of Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. Make sure to get Italian seasoned. The plain ones have no seasoning whatsoever, and it's really sad when you use that. And 1/2 cup of flour. You can do all-purpose flour or even whole wheat flour. You'll need 24 ounces, or about one of those big 24-ounce jars of pasta sauce. And this, or homemade pasta sauce. This is my homemade smoky pork pasta sauce that I make in a crock pot all the time. So I just had left over from making stuffed pasta sauce, so I went ahead and used that. So next what you're going to need is 1.5 cups of Italian breadcrumbs, 1/2 cup of flour, and that can be all-purpose or that can be whole wheat flour or white whole wheat flour. You're going to need 24 ounces or one of those large jars of pasta sauce. This is my homemade smoky pork pasta sauce, so I'm making a slow cooker for over like 12 hours. So if you want to know how to do that, please leave a comment down below and I can show you how to do that. For your seasonings to put into your breadcrumbs, you're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Well, this is seasoning salt, so like seasoning salt. And then 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder. You're going to need 3/4 cup of Italian blended cheese, 1/4 cup of shredded Parmesan, and 3/4 cup of ricotta cheese, which is right here. 2 cups of spinach, 2 eggs. You need 6 bacon slices, already chopped up. You need about 4 ounces of fresh mozzarella, which we will use at the end, and it already needs to be sliced up. And for some other seasonings, and this is for stuffing your chicken, you're going to need 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. You're going to need 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, 1 teaspoon of each of, this is Italian seasoning, a teaspoon of basil, a teaspoon of oregano, and a teaspoon of dried parsley. You'll also need some salt and pepper, which you will do to taste. You'll need some zucchini, of course, for our pasta. You'll also need some butter, so about 4 tablespoons of butter, and I don't know if you can see right there, that is also Crisco. We're going to be using that as well. You need about 3 tablespoons of that, and you're going to mix that together. That's why that's in that bowl here. And you'll need these beautiful tools here for your pasta. These are some of my favorite tools. This is a handheld spiralizer, and this is the crank spiralizer. So, and it comes with, you know, different blades that you can slide in, so you can do thin or ribbon cut, which is for making those ribbon french fries or whatever. And I really love this thing. And it does all different types of vegetables. It comes in a hand crank, and it also comes in a motorized one. So we will definitely need that for making our pasta. So first you have to make a pocket into your chicken in order to stuff it. So you're going to take a chicken breast, and I take kind of the shortest side right here, and you're going to want to put your knife like right in the middle of the chicken. You want to be careful not to cut yourself. I kind of use my hand to press down so I make a nice clean cut. And you'll want to start about 1 to 2 inches into it. So first you'll want to cut this way, and if there's usually there's this little overhang, just kind of ignore that as best you can and just cut. Again, make sure not to cut yourself, please be careful. All the way till you get to about the end, about 1 to 2 inches from the end. Now you kind of have this pocket right here, and you'll want to clean it up a bit, so you'll kind of go a little deeper, and this takes some practice sometimes, because sometimes people will just slice all the way through and oops. And you don't want to, you want to keep the knife as straight as possible so that you don't make a hole at the bottom. And also what I'm doing, as I get to that end cut, I'm turning the knife, which the knife tip is right here, downward this way. And this is one reason why you put your hand on so your chicken doesn't move. And cutting kind of in an arc. So now I've made this arc, so I'm cutting the arc, but the blade is not going through the actual chicken, and that'll actually complete the pocket. It actually allows you to stuff more stuffing in a chicken and not all the stuffing come out, and you will do the same on this side. So you kind of go in, you cut in an arc form, so you're cutting this way with just the blade all the way till you get to about here. If I press my finger here, I can actually feel the knife, but I'm not cutting through. And when you're done, you have a nice pocket, and I could put my finger deep in there and in here, and you have a nice pocket. And what you'll do now is just do that with the rest of the chicken. Okay, so we've cut up our chicken, or cut the pockets into the chicken, not cut them up, don't do that. And now we're going to make the stuffing. But first, let's go ahead and mix our seasonings here for our breadcrumb mixture. So again, we have our 1½ cup of breadcrumbs, ½ cup of flour. Take that ½ teaspoon of garlic powder and ½ teaspoon of salt or seasoned salt and dump that in. And take a spoon and mix it up as best you can, or my pan has a lid, a little Pyrex, and just shake it up to mix it up as best you can. There we go. Then we're going to make our stuffing mixture. So you're going to take your cheeses, so your ricotta, your Italian, and your Parmesan. We're going to dump that in. And then you're going to take your spinach, add that in. This is about 2 cups of spinach. You can use more or less. And take just the bacon, not the mozzarella. Put that in. And all those seasonings I mentioned earlier, dump all those in. And you're going to mix it well, getting all the cheeses in. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and stuff our chicken because our stuffing mix is done. And your stuffing mix is going to be kind of crumbly. If you want it a little more moist, you can add a little more ricotta cheese or a little more milk. So we're going to take, I'll start with this one. This chicken breast. See, we already have our pocket. I'm just going to spoon some over here. You can just dig on in. You just take the stuffing and you stuff it. Now, those cuts that you made kind of in here where the chicken isn't open, you're going to have to push your fingers down and stuff downward, like so. Okay. Take some more. The more you stuff it, the bigger and fatter it gets. Then what you do is lay it over like this to seal the ends. And lay it flat like that. And you can even take this little side end that usually comes with it and kind of stuff it on the inside to keep it sealed. And it won't fully stay that way. So what you can do, you can leave it like this and be very careful when you go to bread it, or you can use these, you can use some toothpicks to thread it through and hold it in place. And it doesn't hurt the recipe or anything. All you need to do is just take the toothpicks out after you're done cooking. So you'll just push it through like so, and then pop it through. You do one more. You close the ends together, push it through here, and I kind of weave it in and push it like so. See that? See how it's sealed now? Go in again. I kind of go in 2 or 3 times. There you go. And you just do that all along the seam, and there you go. And you just do that with the rest of the chicken breast. Okay, so all of our chicken is stuffed, and now we're going to go ahead and bread it. So here, I've taken the 2 eggs that I had and whisked them with 2 tablespoons of water. And so what you do is, and of course our breadcrumbs are already mixed up. You can just mix it up a little more with your hand or whatever, because it's gonna get dirty anyway. And what you do is you take one of your chicken breast and carefully roll it around. Be careful of the toothpicks. So it's nice and well coated. And then you put it into the breading and do the same. You can take your fingers and kind of push it down. That actually makes it easier. You can even use the red lid I had to kind of put it on top like so, and gently roll around. Don't shake, but gently kind of roll around to get it coated. And it won't get everything coated, but it'll get the majority of it coated, and then you can coat the rest with your fingers. Kind of get these small spots right here. Get all of the nooks and crannies, especially anywhere where the stuffing is peeking out, because your coating is going to help to seal the stuffing in as well. Again, be very careful of the toothpicks, which are right here. And then you take it, shake off a little excess just by kind of rolling it around, and gently put it over to the side. And that is your first one. And all you have to do is do that with the rest of the chicken. Okay, so we have all of our chicken nice and coated. Even all the ends are sealed, everything's ready to go. Now you're gonna take a large baking dish, and you're gonna take that the butter and Crisco combination. You're gonna throw that in there. And you're gonna preheat the oven to 400 degrees. And then you're gonna put this dish in and let all of this melt. And then you add your chicken. Okay, so while our butter and Crisco are melting in the oven, we're gonna go ahead and spiralize our zucchini. And I'm gonna use the handheld spiraler first. And they have a thick and a thin side, which indicates if you want thick noodles or thin noodles. So there's thick and there's thin. I'm gonna go ahead and do the thick side. And you just put it in right here and you just twist. And as you twist, as you can see, noodles come out. Now you need about 1 to 2 zucchini for 4 people, because about half of a zucchini will feed 1 person to make noodles. So that's about half. And that's about a serving. You can double, triple this or whatever. The calories are so low because one whole zucchini is literally about 30 to 40 calories, depending on how big the zucchini is. So you can have a huge mound of zucchini pasta and just be a total complete piggy and just eat. And you will obviously not gain that much weight because it's only 35 calories. Alternatively, if you don't have the handheld and you have the crank style one, all you do is take the zucchini, I can push this out, push out the bottom part, and you'll need to cut the zucchini so it has a flat surface. And you'll stuff it right here so that it gets into the spikes. And then, oops, then you'll want to actually, as you're holding it, push the apparatus forward so it's touching this part. And you should have already selected your spiralizer, so it can be thick or thin or ribbon cut, whatever. And then as you turn, and just put your hand in the best way possible. Your hand can either go here or even here. Just watch your fingers. This is not the easiest way to do it, but all you basically do is as you push, you turn the hand crank, and as you can see, the noodles come out. And it takes a little getting used to because you have to push and crank at the same time, but eventually, there we go. Eventually you'll get it down, and it comes in these very long noodles. Okay, so I've taken my butter Crisco mixture out of the oven. It is now melted, and I let the ends cool a little bit so I can handle it. And now we're gonna put our chicken in. So take one of your pieces of chicken and carefully lay it down in there. Uh-oh. Right. And you can also use another pan for this, or kind of finagle it as best you can. There we go. Just squeeze them in. And you just take this to the oven, which I'm just gonna go ahead and pick it up and take it to the oven. There we go. And you're gonna cook that for 20 minutes. Okay, so it's been 20 minutes, so let's go ahead and check on our stuffed chicken parmesan. Get in oven mitt and pull it out. Getting stuff. There you go. Now at this point, you're going to take some tongs, which everyone should have, and you're going to gently pick it up and flip it over. And see how it's starting to get brown and nice and pretty on the outside. And these are really touching each other, so you want to be very careful. You can also be way smarter than me and do this in 2 pans instead of 1. And that will make your life a lot easier. Also be careful of the toothpicks, which is why I'm struggling right now, is because they're getting caught in toothpicks. Okay, well, you guys have better things to do than watch me try to flip this. So just go ahead and flip this and cook for another 20 minutes, and then we'll be back after that. Okay, it beeped, so it's been about 25 minutes. So let's go ahead and take a look at our stuffed chicken parmesan, see how it's going. And that looks wonderful, and it smells amazing. See how it's nice and crispy on the outside now, and that's due to the butter that was at the bottom. So we're going to take that out. Now for your next step, you're going to take your pasta sauce and take a spoon, and you're going to start ladling that on top, or spooning it on top. I don't have a ladle. You don't have to use all of it, just enough to kind of cover it. You can use the rest of the sauce for your pasta. For those of you who are like, why is there a piece of meat in there already? I cook all of my pasta sauces, or at least this pasta sauce, with like a pork neck bones and stuff like that. It just tastes so damn amazing. It's just a wonderful way to do it. So again, if you want to know how to do that, let me know in the comments below and I'll show you how to make that, because this is like the best pasta sauce I've ever had. Okay. Now you're going to top on your cheeses. And remember those fresh mozzarella slices that you sliced up? You're going to top that on. Oh, he's here. There we go. So I'll top that there. Okay. Open your oven back up. Pop the chicken back in. And you're going to cook that for another 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, so the timer went off. Let's see the finished product. So, let's pull this out. And this smells, oh man, God, this smells amazing. I am so excited. Okay. Oh, guys. This smells so good. Oh. And the cheese is starting to brown. If you want the cheese to brown a little more, you could either leave it in longer or put it on broil and put it to the highest rack of your oven and put it on for 2 to 3 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and plate this and show you what the finished product looks like. Okay, and here we are with the finished product. This is our stuffed chicken parmesan, and here are zucchini noodles topped with some heated up sauce. Now, if you don't want to eat the zucchini noodles raw, you can go ahead and put them on the skillet and cook them with a little olive oil for about 2 to 3 minutes. It does not take that long to cook zucchini noodles. I usually just go ahead and put them on because I cook so much, and then when I'm ready to eat, I have to heat up my food in the microwave anyway, and so the process of microwaving everything together actually cooks the noodles. So then I don't need to go ahead and put them in a skillet or anything, because the microwave does that for me when I'm reheating my food. So, but this is the finished product, and it's just absolutely one of my favorite meals of all time. And look, all this pasta, it's less than 35 calories. Oh, so awesome. So thanks so much for joining me for today. Thanks for watching, and like, share, and subscribe. Please share this recipe, and please let me know what you guys think about this, because this is just awesome. So thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time.